Good morning, Cog Squad. Y'all can see I'm inside the house, which is a rarity for me to start off a video. I usually just hit the ground running and eat something on the go, but today is a little bit different. You see what's behind me, the cast iron. So I'm gonna grab a skillet, but first, before we do that, I want to show you guys, this is Edgar. This is Mary Carl's cat that she got from an animal shelter. Probably February of 2025. So he's been with us, no, that's not, yes, that's right. February 2025 is when we got him, and he was all alone. That brought us to the realization that we didn't need to have a single cat by himself. And then we saw Mr. Lou posted on the TNR group that you guys so graciously helped us raise money for that rescue. And here he is, Mr. Lou. He was, I'm sorry the sunlight is so bright coming in this window, but Lou was found at a restaurant in the nearby area and had a mangled leg that was just hanging, along with a lot of scars and scratches and whatnot on him. And a gracious citizen took him to the TNR group, where they immediately got him the vet care that he needed. And Lou is so very loved. He loves sitting in the window seat, so much so that I got a second one over here for Mr. Edgar. So I said I don't usually eat breakfast, and this is not going to be breakfast for me, but I think this cast iron skillet is going to be perfect for what I want to do this morning. So into this bowl will go one of our farm fresh eggs. I know this is an Ancona egg because it has a white shell, and I don't have any other chickens besides Tina Turner, who's the oldest chicken now officially living at Cog Hill Farm, that lays a white egg, and I think she may be laid out. All right, so we're gonna get my burner going right here because it is cast iron and it needs to heat up for just a second. And I'm gonna give my single egg a little whirl. Now I bet y'all thought this was going to be my breakfast, didn't you? But truth be told, I've already consumed my breakfast this morning, which was the quinoa, which I really enjoy. All right, so notice I'm not putting any butter, I'm not putting any salt, I'm not putting any pepper in this egg. This is simply a scrambled egg with no seasoning whatsoever. And I love to use a wooden spoon when I'm using cast iron. It will keep from scratching the bottom of your pan, and plus it's just better. I don't know why, it just is. All right, off with the heat, and off with the heat with the cast iron skillet. Don't ever pick one of these skillets up with your hand because you will be surprised at how hot it can be. So I got this crew fed this morning, and I'm headed to the barn with my single scrambled egg. Any ideas what I could have in mind to do with this single scrambled egg? I could eat it on the way. Not gonna have any seasoning, not gonna have any butter, but I'm not. I've got plans for this egg. We gotta stop and see Star. Do you think my plans are to give Star this egg? I don't know that her previous owners mentioned anything about her liking a scrambled egg, but at this point, I think she's just happy. I think she would consume anything I offered her. She's been enjoying lots of carrot crisp, the little chip style carrots. Bought her some of those sugar cubes, and I've never purchased any of those for any of our horses. Of course, just one or two a day. And she enjoys those, but I think she likes the carrots better, in all honesty, and I'm kind of glad she does. But she is becoming a favorite of mine because when she sees me, she starts whinnying, indicating from my research that she likes me. And I kind of like her too, so this is a two-way street. Hey, Star! Y'all see, she kind of knows her name. She peeks that head up every time I say her name, And then she comes to greet me. And I don't want her to think the eggs are for her and then not give her any. Hey, girl. Hey there. Set the eggs down while we say hello to Miss Star. Hey, baby. She's the sweetest, most gentle soul I could have ever asked for. Come here, baby. Come here. And she loves to be groomed. That's Pocket. She loves to be hugged. She's an affectionate horse, I will say that. And everything's just going extremely well. All right, girl. I got something in mind that I want to take care of, and I will be back to show you some love in just a bit. Bramble, of course, Mr. Bramble is going to come out here and show you his appearance this morning. What you trying to do? Huh? You trying to get in some camera time? Y'all check this out. Here he comes. She doesn't have too many cares about cats. I can tell you that. The first time Bramble did that when she got here, I was a little kind of stood back. I was in there with her and I thought, oh, I don't know if she's ever seen a cat or not. And you don't know how an animal's going to react if they haven't ever seen anything before. But she, of course, did just fine, and she's settling in nicely. And I like to tell her I love her because I do, and I think that she's loving me back. Aren't you, sweet girl? Yeah. So we are here. We are in the barn. We are approaching the Silky stall. And I think most of you probably figured out by now that it's time to have some Silky chicks if we were going to have any. Now, I might have a problem here with Bramble because he seems to want the eggs, and he also likes to be where I am. So I might need to put him in the milk room before we go any further. So luckily, the cat door that goes into the milk room has a lock on it, and that's where his food and water is. Biscuit's in there as well, so no worries about Bramble while I show y'all what has happened. Can you hear that? There's an indication as to what's happened. But how many have happened? Y'all, I made a mistake on my last video, and I said that the chicks were due to hatch on July the 31st, and I said that was a Sunday. Well, a lot of you guys corrected me and said July the 31st is a Friday. So you want to talk about excited. I was so excited to hear that I was... Now, I just talked about this door and how good it was to have a door on the milk room, and did I not do something right? Goodness gracious, buddy. Snow White really didn't want you to visit her. We're going to have to go and reevaluate. All right, so now I have Bramble. If he gets out this time, we're going to have a problem. So my video went out on Thursday, which was the 30th. Come to find out the 31st was Friday. So that Thursday is when Jason and Mary Carl left to go on the Black Belt Birding Festival. And I realized that my chicks could be hatching anytime. So Thursday evening, I came to the barn and just checked. And y'all, we had a chick Thursday evening. One of, I'm going to use my phone to zoom in, getting too close to them. So do y'all see this little gray one that's on right there? There's two of them that look almost alike. Thursday evening, there was a chick fully dried out here with these mamas, but they continued to sit. And there would be maybe one egg up under the black Silky, and there might be one egg up under the Cochin, and then 5 might be under the white Silky, who we've named Aunt B. Well, Friday came, and Friday morning there was this little chick that's back there in the corner. It's got a little stripe down her back. And I was just tickled to death because I thought, these are the 2 that I candled. These are the 2 that we knew would hatch, and I wasn't expecting any more to hatch. Well, upon reading some of your comments, y'all told me you saw movement and more eggs than the 2, which I did not see from the angle I was. So that was encouraging. Maybe more than 2 will hatch. So, let's see. Friday evening, another little gray one hatched. I wish they would come out here. That's what I've got the eggs for. I guess y'all figured that out. Let's see if they'll invite their chicks to come and eat. Oh, they're not real sure about this. The Friday evening, the second dark little chick had hatched. And you can see 2 of the dark ones right now. And I thought, well, that's it. That's it, because I could see the shells. I counted 2 eggs that they had kicked out. So that left me with only 2 eggs left. And I did not think they would hatch because Friday was 21 days. This isn't going real well. And y'all, that right there is tape where we taped the seams down for the mats. And it didn't stay in places. So it's kind of peeling up. Let's see what they'll do if I put it over here in their food area. Look at here, let's try this. So I was pretty confident that we were done. We were done hatching chicks. Saturday morning, I saw an eggshell that had some blood on it. And I thought, oh no, they've stepped on this egg and the chick wasn't, completely formed yet, and I've got a mess here. But that wasn't the case. I lifted up the little Cochin, who is in the middle of the group right now, and she had a wet, just hatched chick up under her. And I couldn't believe it. I thought, this is number 4. So she's in the back. She's right here. That's number 4 that hatched. And I'm not supposed to have favorites, but to me, she's by far the cutest. I think just because she, in my opinion, wasn't supposed to hatch. But all 3 mamas are doing a great job of taking care of these 4 little chicks. Snow White here is just kind of overseeing the whole process. I think she's just happy to be here, but she's not doing much motherly duty. Now you may ask why I don't have shavings over here. I kind of moved the shavings out of the way and cleaned out. Well, I cleaned out and put new shavings everywhere else, but I want that to have pretty much the bare mat so they don't get shavings all in their water and they can eat and such. And that's the reason that you can see the black mat there. But these mamas are doing an excellent job at raising these 4 chicks. And I cannot believe that we have 4. So you can see the 2 little light colored ones right here and the 2 little dark ones, I'm sure, up underneath one of these 3 mamas. I wish they would eat their eggs. I thought I had some mealworms, but I did not. So I thought a scrambled egg would be the next best thing. I don't want to move it closer to them because they're going to be scared if I do that. Let's see. Move your food back, baby. Look. So we've got a chick on the plate. And I think the mamas are a little upset because they don't know what that is. They're not sure if it's okay that they eat it. Come on, just a bite. It'll be good for the mamas too. I'm not at all worried about the bottom board not going all the way to the ground around the... Okay, Mr. Houdini is back. Bramble has escaped the milk room. As long as you stay over here with me, buddy, you're okay. I don't know how he did that, but he's Houdini Bramble. They just don't know. They don't know what to do. They don't know why these eggs are in here. They're all trying to get them gathered up. All 3 of them working together as a group of little mama hens. But they have some precious babies. Do you see the black one just lift up her wing and The other little light gray one just tucked under. Even though it's 91 degrees outside and fairly high humidity, look at this one. She kind of fell out from over. They still want to be up under their mama. And of course, mama's not going to have it any other way. She says, come on, baby. Oh, look at here. So you never know when you give a broody hen eggs, if they're going to accept them, if they're going to push them away, what's going to happen. And in this particular circumstance, I am happy to say that 4 of the 7 eggs that we put under them trio hatched. Look at there. Oh my goodness, how precious they are. And they don't know any different. They don't know that they're not indeed their own children because they're broody, whether they have a rooster in the area with them or not. They think their eggs are fertile and they're going to sit. So I decided to do something a little different, and that is take some of the eggs off the plate, the paper plate they're not used to, put it in the feeder and see if that wouldn't encourage them to give it a try instead of be scared of something totally new. And so far it looks like Aunt B is like, you're not gonna get me with this one. It's not gonna happen. Since the chicks and their mamas appear to want to take a nap, I'm gonna go out to the chicken coop area and try something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and we'll come back and check on these girls and Miss Snow White, who is also a female, and see what's happening with the eggs. Well, this is something that I've wanted to try with our chickens since it's been, well, it's been hot pretty much the entire month of July, but since it's been so hot, I decided that today's as good as any because we're going to be into fall soon, and I'm going to say, well, I never even did what I intended to do with the chickens. And don't forget Thomas the turkey and Cheese the goose. So today, good as ever to give it a try with the chickens. I've got a splash pad, and I've had it in the barn. I actually brought it out here one day and was going to hook it up and see if they would use it. And then there were some rain clouds, and if y'all's area is anyway like ours, this summer has been unexpectedly wet, which is not always a bad thing. And that particular day that I planned to do it, well, chickens might dance in the rain, but I don't know if they'll dance on a pad when they've got the real stuff coming out of the sky. So we're gonna hook this up today and see if the chickens will enjoy a little cool down. All right, so here we go. Figured I'd pick a fairly sunny spot. I mean, most everywhere is sunny out here except for where it's covered over there with the shade cloth. And then I'm gonna go ahead and hook my water hose to it. I see some girls already coming over to check it out. Maybe they like all these animals on there. I don't think they know what this is. And they're probably gonna be a little scared for a minute or two. Now I'm gonna go turn the water on and see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna leave the camera going while I go over here, and we can see if anybody on playback goes over and checks it out. All right, I could hear Cheese all the way over at the water as I cut it on. Oh, that's going a little bit too high. I don't think we want it going that high. I don't know if it's even showing up, but it's kind of, I thought it was just going to go in the middle. Yeah, we definitely need to cut it down some. Well, it took me a few times to get it adjusted right. This is about what I wanted. You can see one of my cream leg bars. She was the first to check it out, and I must say she is voted Miss Personality, if there is such a thing in the chicken world, because she is the first one to come greet me when I come in, and she's been here next to the shortest amount of time, besides the salmon faverolles. She's got quite a bit of spunk in her. See what happens if I get a little scratch and put it over here. If it'll attract a few more. She said, I'm coming. I'm coming. All right, that ought to be good. Here comes Tommy the turkey. Look here, babies. They're kind of walking everywhere but towards it. Towards me, towards the opposite direction, but not towards the splash pad. And I'm surprised about that. I really am. I think if I let it sit out here a day or two, then they might get used to it. But it's kind of like that plate with the scrambled eggs on it. It's something totally new and they're not used to it. And they don't know what they're supposed to do. That little salmon faverole there, she put on a show for us. She did a little hop and a jump and a skip. Cheese said he's going to go get on it. He's going to tell these ladies there's nothing wrong with it. Go on, Cheese, check it out, buddy. Uh-oh. The newest girl here is looking mighty hard. One of the newest girls, anyway. There's 5 of those. That is the salmon faverole. She went back the other way. Cheese is coming around the barrel. She's going to take a peek. He's blocked by the barrel. He said, I'm just going to talk about it. Not going to get on it yet. So I decided to move it. And I moved it closer to where they could see it. And I don't know if y'all could see Thomas's reaction, but he really does not know what to think about this. The chickens are lined up in front of it. I got a little bit wet while trying to move it. Ryan's out here in front trying to tell everybody it's okay. They found some that I spilled when I was moving the splash pad. Decided they'd eat that first. Thomas said I might check this out. I think the cream leg bar, she's drinking out of it. Catching the water as it's coming out of the little holes. I know it would feel good to them, just to get their feet cooled off. Got her. Now she's on the backside catching water. And she's almost as like he's telling them to get away from it. That water is not good for y'all. If anybody gets in, it's going to be her. I said earlier when I scrambled the egg that Tina Turner is the only other chicken that we have that lays white eggs besides the Ancona. And here's Tina. She's enjoying the sunshine with her wing all stretched out. She's shifted about 45 different positions since I've been out here, trying to get the sun to hit her just in the right spot. But she is definitely the oldest chicken that we have now. I think Cheese may have it figured out. He knows there's water inside the little pad at the bottom. And he chooses to go back to his pool. I just would have thought this would have been perfect because chickens can't sweat. So they cool themselves off through their feet, as well as their lower legs, combs, wattles, and beaks. Anywhere that, well, they don't have feathers. And I thought that they walk through puddles when I overfill the swimming pool or dump the swimming pool out. Just never know. Well, I've already gathered eggs for today, but I wanted to show y'all. Something is missing from this hole right here. It's not this barred rock girl that's flopping around over here, walking from one end of the nesting box to the other. It is Broody Bertha. Broody Bertha is no longer broody. I don't know the exact day that she broke her brood, but I do know that I noticed it. And I said, I can't believe it. She's up. Had a lot of you tell me, to give her some eggs to hatch, and that wasn't going to work when you got all these hens that probably would like to be a mama, but they're not going to go through the process of sitting on eggs. They'd put up a fight for a chick. And then I can't give them all chick starter, and the chicks need chick starter. So that wasn't going to work. Dip her in a bucket of cold water. My grandmother told me that would break their brood. All kind of advice. But in time, she broke it. And I'm glad. So this is why I thought they would like it. You can see that the pool fills up in the bottom and it overflows. So it's making a puddle here. And the hens enjoy walking through the water because it cools their feet off. However, they're not particularly fond of this new splash pad. So I'm not going to leave the water running just because it's wasteful. And obviously they didn't want to play in it today. Well, we're going to go back and see if the mama hens decided to let their babies have some eggs for breakfast. And I'm going to get this all unhooked and get the water turned off. Well, here's a few of the guys and girls that decided once I dumped the scratch off the pool, it was all safe to come and have their treat. And they're loving it now that it's not on a splash pad. I'm sorry I didn't like your surprise. I had good thoughts about it. Don't always work out, do they, girls? Or Cheese, or Tommy. Thought y'all would like it too. Well, I may have had better luck if I had just let the camera roll in here because it appears somebody had a nice breakfast. Most of what was in the little feeder here is empty, and the girls are up walking around again now that they got a little fuel in their bodies. Don't know who ate it though. Mama, baby, Snow White. Maybe they all shared. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll give us another sneak peek and show us just how much they appreciated those eggs. How about it, girls? Healthy, healthy breakfast for all of you. And mamas, y'all have been sitting on those eggs for 21 long days. Not to say you hadn't had food the whole time, but you deserve that. Kudos to y'all. I absolutely love it when the mama hen gets a mouthful of food and drops it on the ground and calls the babies. She tells them, you know, it's time to eat. That's how they learn how to eat, is by their mama dropping it and feeding them. That's why it's so hard to rear chicks on your own without a mama hen present. You know, you have a lot of successful times, but then I feel like you're most successful when you've got a mama teaching them the ropes and how to eat that scrambled egg. She just got a big piece of it and dropped it down, and the other mama's breaking it up into little pieces for them. Look at them. Oh, how precious. Perfect. Well, y'all, I hope you are as excited as Bramble and myself are about these newly hatched silky chicks. And I will continue to update you as they grow. I hate the chickens didn't like their splash pad, but you just never know how things are going to turn out. And we always try to show the ins and the outs. And today was one of those outs. But anyway, not going to let it ruin my day. Are you, Bramble? No, he's just going to get in my pocket and stay for the rest of the afternoon. I know what it is. Microphone. I think you turned it off. All right. Microphone is off per Bramble, and I just appreciate each and every one of you that stuck along with me throughout today, and hopefully you got a little smile on your face because of it. Until next time, tell them, Bramble. Y'all be good.